What's going on, everybody? Just want to share with you three important things to consider if you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, a realtor in your local market. Number one, let's just jump right into it. You got to be a people person, okay? Very straightforward. You got to be okay with large groups of people. You got to be okay with socializing with people. This is a people business. It's all about relationships. So, like I said, if you're not into or you're scared or shy and you're not really that type of person that's outgoing, it's going to be really tough to be successful. Like it's not easy. Think about it, right? People want to do business with people they trust. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to talk to people. You have to meet people in your community. You have to go on appointments. You have to make phone calls. You have to be into people. Straightforward. Number two is going to definitely be follow-ups. Follow-ups are super important, okay? What I mean by follow-ups are you have to be able to pick up the phone after meeting with a client or a prospective client, a buyer or seller, and follow up. You have to call them and say, hey, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you want to put an offer in? What's holding you back? Try to figure out what the uncommon objection is, because most people, and I say most people buy with emotion, but they close on logic. And remember, this is not a small transaction, it's a big transaction. So they're gonna, at the end of the day, they're gonna close on buying a property based on the math, the logic. Does it make sense for our family or not? They're gonna fall in love with the property based on the upgrades and the features and things like that and the location. But you got to be able to follow up and call. People are not going to just go look at one house or two houses and say, okay, I'll buy it. It takes more than that. So it's going to come up to the follow-up. You have to pick up the phone. You have to call even a seller. Hey, what's holding you back? How much time do you need? Are you ready to get the ball rolling, right? Like you got to pick up the phone and do a follow-up. So I would say follow-up is number two. It's super important. Number three is going to be, obviously, you got to be an expert in your market, guys. You'll be surprised. I see it every day. You'll even see this on YouTube. You have to know your market. You literally need to know what's sold, what's currently pending, what's for sale. You need to know your inventory levels, okay? You need to know your average price point, okay? And your demographics. You need to understand what's going on around the country. Rates, right? Is lending easy? Is it tough right now? Become a market expert, okay? Take the time, study, look at your MLS. People only want to do business with people that are professional. If you take the time out, and it only takes like an hour, 2 hours to do it before you start the week, take a look at your current inventory and supply. And when you go out and meet people, you're going to sound like an expert. Remember, real estate agents are like the professionals, but it's almost like when you go to see a doctor or a lawyer. People are going to trust you if they believe in what you're saying and you sound confident in what you're saying. So if you understand the market, they're going to like the likelihood of them going be able to follow what your lead is or take your recommendation into consideration is higher when you're a market expert, when you become a market expert, is what I'm trying to get at. So definitely take the time out, study, research your market, and it's super important. It just kind of makes sense, right? The last thing I would add as a bonus on top of that is, guys, you gotta like really think about this. You can't be afraid to close people. You can't be afraid to push and ask questions, tough questions, okay? What's holding you back from buying this house? What is holding you back from selling your property right now? I spent 2 hours with you, blah, blah, blah. You told me this is exactly what you're looking for. You love it. Okay, why aren't you submitting an offer? Why aren't you pulling the trigger? You got to ask tough questions. It's all about the inquisition, okay? You can't be afraid to close people. These are huge transactions, and you got to make a living, right? You have to feed your family. So I would say those are the most important things to consider before you become a realtor. If it's something that you're really not built for in the sense of personality wise, then maybe consider a different career. But you can also be a referral agent. There's nothing wrong with a referral agent. They actually make pretty good money. Referral agents, typically where I live, on average will make about 80% of the commission that they negotiated. It's typically 25% as a referral fee, so they'll get 80% of that commission, which is still a pretty good deal. You basically get a client, you have it submitted to somebody else, another agent, they'll type it up, and then you get a commission. So there's nothing wrong with being a referral agent, if you're not the type to put yourself out there and, you know, kind of become an expert in it. I get it, it's not made for everyone, but I would say those are the most important skills to consider before you become a real estate agent. I hope this helped you guys out. I'm just trying to kind of guide people in the right direction. And yeah, like I said, I hope this helped you guys out. Until then, stay safe, good luck, and have a good day.